Was it a ghost or a Kapre? After my last encounter at the subdivision, I never experienced anything again, until 9 to 10 years later. I think I was in my sophomore or junior year in college. I have trouble recalling the exact year whenever I experience anything when I reached my teenage years, but I always remember the incident clearly. This time I no longer live with my aunt in Angela City, and they no longer live in the subdivision that I always mention in my previous stories. I was now staying at our house in the province with my uncle, grandmother, and siblings. We live in an isolated part of the province in Pangasinan where the nearest grocery store was around 30 minutes away and the nearest mall is an hour away depending on the traffic. The barangay, village, we live in is near a mountain and about 10 minutes or so away from the highway via tricycle. Before reaching the center part of the barangay, you'll mostly see rice fields rather than houses. Our house is in the middle part of the barangay. It faces the basketball court, while at the back you'll have a view of the rice plains and the mountain. One night while I was sleeping, I suddenly felt a huge hand touching my chest, shaking me like it was trying to wake me up in a hurried way. On the first few shakes, I wasn't able to open my eyes, like I was paralyzed or something. When I was finally able to open my eyes, I abruptly sat up and the feeling of someone touching and shaking me on the chest also disappeared the same time I opened my eyes. I looked around wondering who would wake me up, but saw that my sisters were all asleep. We all sleep in the same room. We have one foldable bed and a double-deck bed. I sleep on the upper deck. Judging by the size of the hand, I know that it was huge, like it belonged to a 6 to 7 foot tall person or thing. At first, I thought that it was just a simple nightmare, but I still feel the hand on my chest after a few minutes of waking up until I fell asleep again. If it wasn't a ghost, maybe it was from a Kapre, as I've heard stories of a Kapre haunting some members of my family. We have a few mango trees around the house and a huge bamboo tree just beside our house lot. Our elders said that unseen creatures are living in them. My cousin's half-sister, who we don't talk to anymore, has experienced seeing a Kapre in that house before. It was my grandmother who told us this story. She said that Aunt Vicky, not her real name, suddenly screamed after looking out the window at night. She said that she saw a pair of pitch-black legs outside the window. In Philippine folklore, a Kapre is said to be around 7 to 9 feet tall. I believe in ghosts as I experienced their hauntings firsthand, but I still have my doubts when it comes to mythical creatures, as I haven't experienced seeing or feeling them. The shaking that I felt isn't enough to make me believe that it was done by a Kapre, as I didn't see or feel anything unusual from my surroundings after waking up. However, I don't reject the thought that a lot of people in the Philippines have seen or felt the presence of these creatures. What do you guys think about the shaking that I experienced? That was the first and last, maybe, time I felt something while I was in the province. Thank you so much for reading my stories.